Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Golden Sun Dark Dawn. In the last episode, we went through the Harappa ruins, and we defeated the Ice Queen and got the Ice Queen Stone, which gave us the Cold Snap Energy, which we need to throw the Alchemy Forge back in reverse. So, in today's episode, we're going to be heading back to Passage to kind of go ahead and do that. So now, nighttime has fallen here in Harappa, and we can't do this one thing I wanted to do because it's nighttime. If we come up to this door here, you'll notice something. This door is blocked in the way here. Funny, I don't recall seeing this barrier here when we passed through earlier today. Night has fallen in Harappa. After dark, the power from the ruins causes the barrier to rise. It's the reason no enemy has ever successfully launched an attack on Harappa, even in ancient times. But I must say, tonight the barrier seems especially formidable. It stands taller and looks more colorful than before, as if a new force is pumping extra life through the ruins and into Harappa, I'm sorry. Well, that's just great. How are we supposed to get back to Passage with this barrier here? Oh, just spend the night at the inn. When you wake up, the barrier will be down again. I wouldn't mind a rest after all our hard work on the Alchemy Forge, then coming to Harappa. Let's just enjoy the evening lights, then rest up in the inn. We can leave in the morning. This wall right here is the main reason why you can't get this certain thing that I'm trying to get in this episode. I'll go in more detail about that later, but for right now, let's go into the inn and let's go ahead and spend the night here. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. But yeah, that wall will be coming back up later in the game, and it'll cut access to something. I hope you slept well. Have a nice trip. Okay, so pretty much now that it's daytime, we can actually leave Harappa now. See, the wall's now down. We need to come over here and cast growth on this plant here. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. But before we do so, before we get climb that rope, we want to come all the way over here. You guys remember this building I mentioned when we first came in here to come through the Harappa ruins? This puddle right here. Now that we have Cold Snap, we can actually, you know, raise a column of ice. That is the reason why we needed to come back. Now, what I mean here, this is probably going to be the episode of Point of No Return number 2. I'll go into more detail about that, but when we climb up here, we can go across this ledge here, and then finally jump across with that Cold Snap column. We can go inside this building. I don't think there's anything in this pod. Oh, nope, I was wrong. There's crystal powder here. Okay. Anything in this barrel? Okay, no. But when we come in here, we can actually go down the stairs, and voila, look. A Jinny's down here. And he goes without a fight. This Jinny is a missable Jinny. And I can't stress this enough. Get these guys when you can. This is Venus Jinny Brick has joined you, and it's set to Matthew. Brick, the spirit is found in Harappa. Brick's control over stone allows for an instant creation of defensive barriers. And he's really big and he looks like a brick. He's so cute. This guy is missable. Why is he missable? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Every thing in the Ei Jei region, we can come back to later in the game. This whole area is not missable, except for this one place here. And I think it might have something to do with the way they designed something later in the game. Later in the game, when we advance through the plot and everything else, that door, we saw it earlier, will be closed. We can still go in Harappa through the back entrance, but we cannot go through the front entrance. This causes a problem because, as you guys saw, I needed the wall down in order to not only cast growth on that plant to get on top of the wall, but I also needed to cast Cold Snap on that puddle there to make the column to jump across there. You need to have the wall down to do this. I can't stress that enough. And therefore, that is the reason why Brick is missable. So, I'm going to be putting up... we're very close to the second point of no return. I'll put up a reminder. If you guys haven't gotten Brick at this point, you guys need to go get him. Because if you leave at this point, he's gone forever. And that's one, like I said, it's one of the worst things about this game that I don't like about it. I mean, like, I like this game a lot, but that's the one thing if I had a major gripe about, it's that. The point of no returns really do bother me after a while. Especially if you're trying to collect all the Genie in the game. There we go. I better switch over to... Oh! Tyrell Gird level 19, that's good. Alright, let's go and switch back over to Reef here. Okay, Reef, you're gonna join the party again. There we go. We're gonna go back to Passage. Now, there's one more thing here in Passage that we need to get real quick. Before we go and throw the Alchemy Forge back in reverse. We come back here to Passage, but we need to go back down the mountain climb. So you're probably like saying, well, you were just at the mountain climb, why didn't you climb up? This way is faster in my opinion. Alright, so now that we have Cold Snap and the Alchemy Forge is back, we're up and running. If we go down all the way down here, and we go into this room, yeah, down here. Couldn't think for a second here. We need to actually slide down this area here and climb up the wall again. Okay. Okay. We come into this room right here. We need to solve this puzzle real quick. And we're gonna need Cold Snap to do it, if you couldn't tell. What we need to do is we need to push these Zol blocks into these little holes up there. You guys probably see the holes right there. So we pushed one in there. We need to push the other one. Well, the other one, we need to have Cold Snap in order to get it. So that's why we couldn't do it until just now. Okay, so we need to push this guy up here. I do believe I can push it this way. Okay, let's go up here. I can't push that way. Yeah, oh no, we can. Hold on a second. Go ahead and push it down. There we go. And push it this way. Now, when we get to this point, we need to cast Fireball on this ice pillar here to kind of melt it again. Alright, now we can kind of push this block upwards. And there we go. Now we unlock this room real quick. We needed to do this in order to get this summon tablet that I'm going to get right now. There's a summon tablet in here. So let's go ahead and grab this. And there we go. We got the Summon Flora! To summon Flora, we need the following Djinn on standby. We need 1 Venus and 2 Jupiter Djinni. Okay, so we got another summon. That's really good. But yeah, that's the reason why we needed to come back to the mountain passage, because it had a summon tablet in it. Alright, so now, let's go back to Passage, and pretty much wrap up our journey in the Ei Jei region. Are you guys ready to leave? I'm ready to leave. All this backtracking is kind of getting a little annoying. But honestly, I mentioned that this is pretty much my least favorite part of the game, on account of all the times you have to go back in between the 4 towns of this region here. It's kind of honestly ridiculous after a while. But that's okay. Now, there's one more thing that I wanted to do before we go through this thing in reverse. And that's to go in here. If we come up here and talk to the elders real quick, I think the elders have new terms for us. Oh, here it is. Yeah, Ice Queen Stone got updated. So let's go ahead and look at that. The gem was created by the ancient Neots. It is the key to gaining the power to put the Alchemy Forge in reverse. Okay, so that's pretty much that. And then I think this guy has another one. anything? No, I guess not. I think... Oh, wait. I think the other one's in a villager. I'm gonna cut until I find the villager that has the other term that I needed. It's not with the elder, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, I was mistaken. I think it's after we throw the Alchemy Forge in reverse that the term that I'm looking for will pop up. So, without further ado, let's go inside the Alchemy Forge and throw the Alchemy Forge in reverse. So cast Cold Snap on these two petals here. That will cause some sort of cooling effect. Alright, that's one half of the forge here. Let's go ahead and activate the other half. And with that, the Alchemy Forge will be thrown into reverse. And it's turned from a orange look into a blue look. It's cooling the forge a little bit. Boggy, our friends have reversed the flow. Then they found the Ice Queen Stone. There's seemingly nothing these brave warriors can't do. So I suppose that you'll be heading off to Craggy Peak immediately then. If this improves the cloud conditions in the platform, then yes. Let's go and find out, come on. It should be smooth sailing at this point. Now, friends, head to the cloud platform. Okay, so now we have access to go over to the Kirin Mountains, finally. We have finally done it. We have done all the stuff in the Ei Jei region we needed to do. Alright, so I think now that term is... I think we talked to this guy here. Yeah, there he is. There's the term. Alchemy Forge got updated. Let's go ahead and look at that. This ancient machine was built by the Neox and is powered by the element of fire. This machine can be put in reverse with the Cold Snap's energy and the Ice Queen Stone. So that's pretty much that. The Alchemy Forge got updated, so now we can actually finally leave this place. So now, if we come up to the Cloud Passage here, and we come up this way, it says, if we leave, we may not be able to return again. Are you ready to go, Matthew? Now, let's go. I want to kind of make this thing real quick. Okay, let's get everything in order before we leave. Now this isn't really so much a point of no return, but it is a point of no return for one thing. So I'm going to make this point of no return number 2. We have gotten so much stuff since the last point of no return. But everything we can get back, back if you miss it. If you miss it, you can always come back here later in the game and get it. It's not a big deal. Except for that one Jenny I got at the beginning of this episode. Brick is missable. So, if you do not have Brick at this point in the game, go back to Harappa and get him. Because if you do not get him past this point, you will not be able to get him at all. So, this is my warning to you guys. If you guys are following along with me and trying to 100% this game, if you do not have Brick, the Venus Ginny that we got at the beginning of this episode, it's kind of hard not to get him because we just got him at the beginning of this episode, go back and get him. Because if you do not get him at this point, you won't be able to get him at all. So, with that is my second point of no return. I kind of wanted to point out here. So, without further ado, I think everything's in order. I think we have everything that we need. Okay, let's go on to the Cloud Passage. Alright, I'm ready. Sure enough, the cloud is working again. Look at that, it's working. You've done so much for us. I'm sorry to see you leave. I can only imagine what adventures lie ahead of you, my friends. Our adventures would have never gotten off the ground. Wow, to make a pun there. Never gotten off the ground without you, Boggy. You have been a good friend, and I will miss you deeply. The honor has been all mine, Amity. I don't mean to butt in here, but how are we to get this thing going? Good point. The cloud has been forged by the forged from the floating Zol, so I'm sure the strong winds will carry you. That's the thing, the wind is so uncontrollable you don't know where it's gonna go. Then I'll do my best to blow us across the sky. Yeah, see, you're just lucky that the wind's going in the way that we need to go. Wow, such a strong gust. Where did she do that? How did she do that? Her powers will come in useful soon, but this gust is a gift from the Ei Jei. What do you mean, grandfather? There's a parting wind from the coast below, blowing them north where they need to go. Goodbye, Matthew. Take care. Come back and visit after your quest is done. I will never forget this lovely place. I promise that I'll return. And sure enough, we're on our way to the Clouds of Passage. Into the next area that we need to go into the game. Alright, with that, welcome to the Cloud of Passage, guys. Now, you're probably wondering, like, saying, well, this is a dungeon. Shouldn't we be stopping here? No, this is like the world's shortest dungeon. I swear to you, we will be here in a literally like 4 minutes tops. So we need to cast Whirlwind in order to push the clouds the way we need to go. So, let's go ahead and do that. We need to hop across these platforms, and I love how we're just hopping across clouds. Fluffy little clouds. That's like the world's safest way of doing things. Alright, so I'm going to cast Whirlwind here, and actually, one thing in particular I want to do is we're going to cast a grip here to get across this yap. I kind of want to hit these things that you probably see. You probably see these floating orbs right here that electrify. We want to hit one. Trust me on this. The reason why is because we get dropped down here and there's a couple things that I want to get real quick. So let's cast Whirlwind on these flowers. Sure enough, there's an item under here. And sure enough, there's a nut. So we get another nut to add to our collection. And we're going to cast Growth to make a ladder here. I'm doing this intentionally. You do not have to do this. If you want extra items, go right ahead and do it. But if you don't care, don't intentionally fall down. Alright, let's cast Grip. And then let's do this properly. I did that purposely to drop down. Alright, so, first things first, let's cast downward. Do not cast forward. Let's cast over to the left here. Let's cast downward again. And then once we do that, we get wafted up, the waft drift up will cause us to go to the next floor. Alright, jump across here. We're gonna do this again and jump across this cloud. The fluffy clouds. We're gonna go ahead and keep jumping on downward here. I do like the music that plays here. It's very. If I haven't mentioned before, the composer for the Golden Sun series is Sakuraba. He is a very good composer for this music. He's done music for not only the Golden Sun series, but he's done for the Tales series. He's done it for the Baten Kaido series. He's done it for I think Eternal Sonata. He's done a lot of good music, and I really love his music work. Alright, so we're gonna cast Whirlwind. We're gonna cast it southward. Here we go. Alright, now that'll take us to the next room. If you guys didn't catch it, there was a Synergy Stone right there. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and intentionally hit myself here. There we go. Because there's another item down here that we can get. I don't know if I can get over to it. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I have to do it up there. I kind of hit myself for no reason now. Alright, I'm going to cast Growth here. Alright, we're going to climb back up. Alright, let's not hit ourselves again. See if this guy here is circling around. Wait for him to pass, and then just go smooth sailing from here. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then we can go on to the next cloud here. Now this is the one that I need to... Oh, I missed my timing. Darn it. But yeah, this is the cloud that we need to hit ourselves if we need to get those items now. I know it's kind of seems silly just to pick up little items here, but I honestly need to mention this. This area you do not revisit. So this is your one and done area. So I just wanted to kind of get all the items that I can before we leave. Come on, hit. There we go, hit it. Okay, good. Alright, so now we can actually come down here. Yeah, you do not revisit the Clouds of Passage or the next, Actually, no, you can revisit the next area. I forget about that. Oh, come on. There's my item. It's just an herb, I know. But better to be safe than sorry, right? We do not revisit this place, so... Okay. Let's cast Growth again. Good, luckily for us, it wasn't too far from where we did it. So, or wasn't too far from where we fell down. So let's go ahead and cast Whirlwind. Alright, and then let's miss the timing of these electric balls to go up onto the waft drift of the next one. And sure enough, here is the end of the dungeon. I told you this dungeon wasn't very long. And sure enough, we have a grand staircase that we need to climb. We keep climbing the staircase, ever so the Zol staircase on the clouds. It's a long trek up this mountain here. Eventually we will get up there. Sure enough, here we are. And there we go. See? It says, woo, we finally made it to the top of Craggy Peak. The clouds dissipated behind us, so that's why we can't come back. It appears these ruins are deserted. I hear nothing. Tyrell, don't break anything. Yeah, no one lives here. How can you be so sure? The smell. If people lived here, I'd be able to smell some food. But not a whiff. Wow, way to be thinking with your stomach, dude. Yeah, let's get going, Matthew. Ignore Tyrell. Tyrell's like, what? And sure enough, we're here at Craggy Peak Ruins. So, this is our next dungeon that we need to tackle. But I think this is a good stopping point for this episode. So, the next episode of Let's Play Golden Sun Dark Dawn, we're going to be tackling probably the longest dungeon, in my honest opinion, in this game. So with that, I will see you guys in the next episode.